From casual to hardcore, newbies to veterans. This is the Warcraft Chat Channel Podcast, hosted by Badger and Altier.
Okay, so for our main topic today, I know we're going to go through each of the spec tier sets and talk about those today. If we don't get through all of those in the first episode, we're probably going to carry that over to the next episode, finish that up, and then talk about any topics that we have left over for that episode. But I do know,
Right.
yeah. So I do know before we get started, I think Ty has a few surprise topics he wants to talk about.
Not really surprises. There's just things I don't think you guys are aware of them. So
Yeah.
I wanted to talk.
Okay.
There is a new way. You know the catalyst
Mm-hmm.
that they added in this recent raid tier, where you can create your
Your tier set.
tier pieces.
Right.
And I think in the previous episode I basically told my love for it, and I really like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, either the first or second.
So now they're continuing with it, but they're changing. Instead of just randomly generating a charge every week, you now have to complete a weekly quest.
So like to be able to craft a piece of gear that week, you need to complete a quest.
Almost. Basically, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's like the Korthia quest, how you had the weekly,
Yeah.
or
The
stopping the
Zim
jailer.
quotas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
However, this one's a little bit more unique as to where all characters on your WoW account can contribute towards the progress of completing that quest. And
Weird. That's
let's say
different.
let's say you have a bunch of alts,
Mm-hmm.
and you have like 4 level 70s. If one character does that weekly, all your characters gain a charge.
And
So it's like a
it's like
weekly for
constant.
your account. It's like an account weekly.
Okay.
And then each of your characters can spend those charges individually. So you do it that one time, once a week, but if you have 4 level 70s, each one of those 70s gets a charge. So it's pretty nice.
Oh, so you. I'm trying to see. So you only get one charge split among all your characters.
Yeah, so basically, and any new ones too. So let's say you have done the quest 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
and you've used 3 charges on your main character. You decide you're like, hey, I kind of want to rest a shaman. So you start leveling up a shaman. You hit level 70. That level 70 shaman now has 3 charges of their own that you
So
can use.
it's just a faster way to allow alts to create tier sets.
Right.
Okay.
But you can also share progress, which means what I think that means, we don't fully know yet, is that if you're on, let's say, your demon hunter and you do a bunch of stuff and you're only at like 40%,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to do all that stuff again on an alt, another level 70 you have, when you log on at level 70, you'll be at 40% for that quest, and then everything you do will count towards it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I don't know how I feel about that system yet. We'll have to see.
What do you think? What do you think, Josanna?
It'd be interesting either way, no matter what at this point. Trade skills have been kind of bland, so any type of change would probably be a pretty good change. And depending on how the changes in the expansion go, if it gets really good feedback, I'm sure they'll implement more stuff in the future.
Right.
Oh yeah, another great thing.
You got another one?
Yes, and it involves the talents I love so much.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we
there's
all
now.
agree, right, that the
Oh
talents are
yeah,
pretty good.
we all love the add-ons. I mean the talents. There's
Add-ons
there's
are
now
nice
an
too.
add-on
Mm.
that you can import talents from in game.
Really?
So like if you see someone, like you can inspect someone, and if you want to try out their loadout, you can just automatically hit the import button on this add-on. It'll make your talents match theirs.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's very cool.
You don't even have to ask for it.
Another awesome thing that I love that they're doing is we all know that the mythic versions of all the sets are the best looking by far.
Yes.
They have the special effects, they have the higher quality.
I like the Elite PvP set. I like that color scheme.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that matches with I mean yeah, it's different colors, but it's on the same level as the quality of it.
Right, of course.
Um so not a lot of people get to farm mythic sets in rating, and not a lot of people make it to 1800 to get the elite set that they want, and they don't get to get that mythic look until either later on in the expansion when it's easier to farm, or even in another expansion when they can solo it.
Yeah.
So another thing Blizzard is doing is that they're adding an achievement called Deep Cuts from the Vault. And basically, you have to complete one of the following achievements or Fist of Strengths listed below. And that is Elite Dragonflight Season 1, Mythic, I know I'm going to butcher this name. It's Razageth, the Storm Eater, which is the last boss in the Storm Vaults.
Right.
Which those two things I just mentioned are obviously you have to mythic grade,
Or
and the other one is you have to get the elite Dragonflight Season 1. However, there is another achievement that you can get that'll give you this other achievement, and it's Dragonflight Keystone Heroes Season 1, which means
Is that the Keystone
that's
Master?
that's KSM.
Okay.
So now if you get KSM, you can get this reward that infuses your armor with the faint echo of the Storm Eater's power, unlocking additional visual effects for certain Vault of the Incarnate's class set appearances. Which means if you're just a straight Mythic Plus raider and everything like that, and you don't actually go to raids and stuff like that, you get KSM, you can unlock the Mythic variant visuals for your gear.
I like that a lot. That allows people who only focus on pushing dungeons to also receive that look,
Right.
that transmog. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, something a nice change that I was really looking forward to.
Of course, it's going to be harder with the new level 20s. I imagine that's going to be the requirement for KSM.
Oh yeah, especially with Blizzard just increased the player health by 40% alongside creature damage by 40% at level 40. I mean at level 70.
Now, is that only the Mythic Raid look, or is that the
We don't know yet.
Don't know? Okay. I imagine it's only going to be the PvE side. I imagine they still want that elite set to be elite, one of a kind.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Unless they do another achievement that's focused on like PvP that allows you.
Well, that one involves PvP in it already, so
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
True.
I just have to say, visual wise, like appearance, my favorite looking would be the priest. It looks amazing.
The priest is the best,
especially even in shadow priest form, like that void form. The runes off the tassels or whatever they're called just look amazing on there.
But let's be honest, who's playing Shadow Priest?
Nobody. I even had to leave it. I couldn't do it.
You just weren't good enough, I guess, right? Or something.
I wouldn't say that. I was just it's the class.
Yeah, no, I've been hearing horrible things about it. All the bugs, and it was just.
It's just not designed well, and I'm not liking the direction they're going. It's kind of, I feel like this is kind of off topic, but it's kind of getting away from the dot play style with Dark Ascension. It's
right
focused on your non-dot attacks. I don't
Or
know.
just like in where what expansion was? I do not remember what expansion it was. They had a mind spike build.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like forever this class has been a dot class, and then now they're moving away from that. It's just
Right.
it just seems like the wrong direction. I felt like the Shadowlands one was pretty decent. I don't know why they had to feel the need. I don't know why they felt the need. Sorry, to change it. I don't know. It's weird.
Sometimes they do that.
Yeah.
There's one more thing
Oh,
that I want to bring up
more surprises.
bef- before. What's not a surprise because we all know about. We've all talked about this already.
Uh huh.
Um, what are they doing with the Twitch drops?
Oh, I don't know. We did have
There
we had a
are.
special guest who actually has this mount in game who was going to come on, but unfortunately he couldn't make it today. But I know he's mad about
Oh, Mung is
it.
furious.
If you worked hard to get those rare cards or spent the money to buy them when they were like a bazillion dollars, and then you go, oh, they're giving it for free on Twitch. I can't be like, look at my impressive mount I got from one of these cards. It kind of takes away the value of it. This like making it special.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. And the thing I'm like, this poor dude, not Mung, but there's been a meme going around recently with an image of someone had purchased the Feldrake card with the code on it a day before Blizzard had made this announcement for like 300 for
Ooh.
like 3,000 something dollars.
Wow.
That's horrible. They should either make their own mount or do a mount that wasn't like that rare and special. Like of course I'd want the mount, it's cool, but I wouldn't want to take the mount and then have it take away from like
Mount
people being
collectors.
collectors for rare mounts. Yeah.
I agree. They should have made a mount that's designed for this purpose. Twitch drops. Make it purple. Make it look twitchy. I don't know. Just
They
don't.
could have even used old shop mounts that they retired. They just bring it back and make it a Twitch drop.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a bad idea. I think it just takes away from a whole aspect of players that play the game. There's mount collectors. That's what they do. And
Right. Even the perpetual purple firework toy goes for a couple grand.
mhm. Man, that's insane. Why? I don't know why they did that.
Like even if they did mounts that were like the time lost, the void talon, like it would still take away from that because you spent hours farming for those mounts and like, oh, we're gonna give it away for free. It doesn't even have to be the card, just the concept of like a rare mount that you have to work for.
What's next? Is it going to be a different? Is it going to be one of the KSM mounts that people worked hard to get in the shop?
Tyrell's Charger
Yeah, it's. I mean, come on.
or the Swift Spectral Tiger.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that would probably upset a lot of people. Or make mage tower appearances from Legion, like the weapons.
Yeah.
I don't know. They either need to use shop mounts or create specific mounts for that purpose. It's make it unique to Twitch drops. Be like, oh, here mount collectors. Here's your unique mount if you come watch us on Twitch, and you can only get it from this time period. I don't know.
Cool if they designed a Drake that even had like there was purple with like the Twitch symbol on it. That'd be
Yeah,
kind of neat.
yeah. Or it wearing like a necklace with a medallion that looks like the Twitch logo. That'd be cool.
Yeah, all they have to do is use old assets, an original, dragon, and then just recolor it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they did for literally for Wrath Lich King Classic.
They do it for a lot of mounts.
They did it for the new 12-month sub thing. All the mounts you get, if you sub for 12 months and you play Wrath Classic, you get this brand new Drake that is basically just a recolored bronze.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, a lot of people are mad, but a lot of people are happy too.
All
Me
the people who
personally,
didn't get
yeah, all the people who
it.
didn't get it, they're happy.
And everyone who's mad
Um,
has it. It's.
Personally, I don't have the Feldrake. I do have a lot of mounts that you can't get anymore. Namely, namely Tyrion's Charger. Even though I hate the mount, the wings are so stupid. If they went the other way, it'd be the best mount ever. But I'm not going to get into that right now.
Right.
I have a few other ones, but I understand. Like the Feldrake is so rare. It's just, it's just sad that the rarity of it is going to be gone.
Mhm.
And I mean, Mung even has the chicken, the chicken mount.
Magical chicken. That's what I've always wanted.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we can talk about it for days. It's just I don't know. It's just they shouldn't have done it. They should have created their own a unique mount for this purpose. But I don't know.
Yeah. So enough of my
Surprises.
praising Blizz and hating Blizz.
Yeah. Before we move on to the tier sets, I do want to give Mong a shout out. He is our guild leader for our new guild that we joined, Reprisal. You can find Reprisal in Area 52. I believe we are recruiting DPS. Is that right?
I have no idea.
Don't know. I think we're still in the recruiting phase. So if you see us on there, just shout out to our at least Whisper Mung or one of the guild leaders, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So we're on the new guild Reprisal in Area 52. So that's who we'll be raiding with in Dragonflight. We're pretty excited. So I guess it's time to get into the tier sets.
I feel like a lot of these are really boring.
They, compared to the Shadowlands ones, I do feel like the tier sets are boring.
But I also feel like it's the first tier, and they just spent so much time making all these amazing talent trees for all the specs that of course the tier sets are going to be kind of bland.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna have to figure out, okay, what can a tier set offer you that your talent trees already don't give you? I mean, they've given us a lot in those talent trees.
I feel like come the second tier or the third tier or even if we have a fourth tier, I'm hoping that the tier sets get better
Mm-hmm.
just because the talent systems that we have now won't be as new.
Right. Yeah, I see that. They don't want the tier sets overshadowing or making people feel like they're forced to pick certain talents. I think that's kind of the direction they want to go here. I guess I'll get started with in alphabetical order, starting with Death Knight. Um,
I was gonna say druid, but good job.
okay. How about this? I'll go the order in which Wowhead has them ordered, which is something.
That that is alphabetical order.
Is it? Now you're
Yes,
confusing me. Now you're just confusing me.
that was
Okay.
that was my point.
I don't like it. All right, so we have the Death Knight. It looks like we have blood. So for the two piece set bonus, it is, and I quote. I don't know why I'm saying this. I don't know why I'm saying it and I quote. Anyway, when a bone shield charge is consumed, you have a 20% chance to generate one rune.
End quote.
End quote. Wowhead Blizzard 2022. The 4 set bonus, after 10 bone shield charges are consumed, you gain 10% damage and haste for 10% or for 10 seconds.
That is a very passive 2 and 4 step bonus to
It
me.
is.
That
It
is so
is.
passive.
It kind of reminds me of the. I believe it's something similar to Live, but from from speaking to Yoshi, our raid leader, shout out Yoshi, our raid leader on Reprisal, he basically summarized Blood as a tank that you do damage, you gain a shield. The more damage you do, the higher the shield. Is that is that
Sure,
is that
yeah.
fair? Mung was supposed to join and be our tank guide. So, but I think it's okay.
It's not bad.
No, is it gonna massively change your rotation or how you play the class? No. Is it gonna?
They're probably just gonna be stat sticks, pretty much.
Yeah, most part. Okay, I guess I'll move on to Frost. The 2-set bonus for Frost is Obliterate and Frost Scythe critical strike damage and increased by 15%. That's pretty big. And then the 4-set bonus, Obliterate and Frost Scythe have a 15% chance not to consume a killing machine proc.
Again, very passive.
Very passive.
Especially the 2-piece. The 4-piece is nice because, especially if like you're in a breath sequence and you go to do an obliterate and it doesn't consume that killing machine, you can just go straight forward again.
Yeah. I mean, it also might help the obliterate build.
Well, the obliterate build is the best right now, I believe.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. When you hit level 70, you can pair obliterate with frost, the breath.
Oh yeah, breath. That's true. So overall, it's just gonna. It's hard to talk about these because they're very bland. Not bland.
They're very bland. This is going to be a
It's
very
just like,
bland
yeah,
episode, guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, this stacks it. But overall, do you think I guess it is all gonna help the class, but you think it's pretty good?
I mean, it's just passive damage, really. It's not something you really need to look out for, because most people use their procs when they proc, and if you use a proc and it's not consumed, then you're just going to use it again.
Right. What? I don't know. That one has a big chance. Not a big chance, but it has a chance to kind of shake up the rotation a little bit.
I'm not so sure. But it also has a chance to be useless.
It does.
Because you could within that amount of time, that whole global cooldown and everything thing like that, you could have just procced another killing machine and it just waste a killing machine, I guess.
That's true. I didn't think about it that way, especially with the obliterate build.
Right.
That's true. Okay, so let's move on to Unholy. So the 2-set bonus, bursting a festering wound grants your ghoul vial infusion. Grants your ghoul, that should be a vial infusion, increasing their damage and attack speed by 10% for 5 seconds.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know anything about Unholy.
It's basically demonology, but melee. Okay, so the 4-set bonus, your primary ghoul's attacks has a 15% chance to increase your damage and haste by 10% for 8 seconds. This chance is increased during vial infusion. So basically, it's a pet buff when you burst your wounds.
Right.
I don't know. Overall, the Death Knight, I mean, they're cool. I wish there was more gameplay changing tier sets, but I don't think we're gonna get it this time. Okay, so let's move on to my main, the Havoc Demon Hunter. So the 2-set bonus, Chaos Strike and Blade Dance. Blade Dance chance to critically strike is increased by 5% baseline, and their critical strike damage is increased by 10%. And the 4-set bonus, Chaos Strike and Blade Dance have a 20% chance to increase the damage you deal by 8 seconds for 6 seconds. Your critical strikes increase this chance. So overall, I think that's pretty good. It kind of
the thing that stands out to me is that last sentence. Your critical strike increases this chance, which means the more crit you have, the more chance
to increase your
that it'll apply.
So this could change my stat alignment how we want.
Right.
Which I think it goes pretty good with the current single target build, where you want to spin Fury on Chaos Strike and Blade Dance to keep that metamorphosis up longer.
Right.
Overall, I think that goes well with the rotation of Demon Hunter.
I mean, I can see your 4-piece being up a lot, just because how many times do you press Chaos Strike?
Yeah.
It's a crap ton.
Yeah, it's Fury spin. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it because it has the chance to change my stats.
Right.
And how I build my character once I get that 4-piece. So I'm looking forward to that one. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so I'll move on to Vengeance. The 2 set bonus. Shear/Fracture deals 20% more damage, generates 20% more fury, and has a 15% chance to generate an additional soul fragment. And the 4 set bonus. Spirit Bomb and Soul Cleave have a 12% chance to deal 50% more damage and cause targets they hit to deal 15% less damage to you for 8 seconds.
which is huge because I feel like Demon Hunter is one of those classes that doesn't have like Vengeance. Demon Hunter has built-in magic reduction, right? Without your spikes up, you're going into a pack. You can sometimes get pretty nuked.
Right. Yeah.
And
It's your mitigation is mobility, and
right. And having this proc is just a huge defense for you.
That's true. It's pretty good. It's also more damage, more tank damage.
Right. Not like they need it.
Which seems to be the trend for tanks ever since, I want to say, since I've been playing BFA, I feel like tanks have been doing a ton of damage.
It all started at 8.3 with corruption.
And Prot Warriors, specifically. I don't know. It's pretty crazy right now, the tank damage. I think it's starting to be too much. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
We already talked about this. I don't want to get into that again.
Yeah. I wanted a tank player on the podcast to really give their opinion on tank damage and what. So we'll try to get one on. We got a few tanks in the guild. Maybe they'll join in and give their opinions on it. Okay, so moving on to Druid. We'll start with Balance. The 2 set bonus, Star Surge and Starfall increases the damage of your next Wrath or Starfire by 50%, stacking up to 3 times. And the 4 set bonus, when you enter Eclipse, your next Star Surge or Starfall costs no astral power and deals 50% increased damage. So, reading that, it kind of reminds me of what they wanted to do in Shadowlands with astral power pooling before you switch over to your Eclipse.
Right. And you get that, you charge up those stacks, and then you go into Eclipse with just a nuke.
Right. So basically you want enough astral power to cast 2 Star Surges or 2 Starfalls.
Right.
And then have the third one for free. And then just spam your Eclipse filler. That one might change. That one might be the most interesting because it might change how you want to play with your.
It definitely changes rotation.
Right. Which I like that in a tier set. I like a rotation change. That's just me though.
Right.
I don't know how other people feel about that for Balance. But definitely it reminds me of what they wanted to do in Shadowlands. Okay.
I'll take this next one.
Okay, yeah, Feral.
Yeah, my love child.
Yeah, your love child.
So the 2 set bonus is super interesting. I'm not sure if you heard anything about it, but Rip and Ferocious Bite damage is increased by 5%. That's it.
Just a.
It is so lackluster.
Like
it is
nothing.
ridiculous.
Like
Which, I mean, yeah, it's more damage. You can argue that. And the thing about it is that the only thing that looks appealing on that is the Rip. Because Ferocious Bite has been nerfed to the ground, that was our main focus point for a lot of our damage in Shadowlands, and now it's not. So, the 4 set bonus is finishing moves grant 1% crit for each combo point spent for 5 seconds, which is really nice for Feral and Shadowlands, because that's what we want. we want crit to increase the damage of our Ferocious Bite, which this might help it a little bit with that 5% crit going into that 5% bonus damage of a Ferocious Bite.
Yeah.
But Blizzard's really wanting us to focus on bleed builds, it looks like, with the talent and setup that they have. And crit doesn't, it does something for bleed builds, but more mastery is what ferals are going to want to go for.
Right.
So, am I a fan of the set piece bonuses for feral? No.
Like,
Uh,
out of all of them so far, that is the most boring one.
they definitely could have come up with something different, and it's just,
If
yeah.
if bleed was your focus, do something with bleed damage. Make bleed damage interesting.
But does it look pretty?
No.
No. One, you're
Does
gonna
it
be
even look good?
I mean, you're gonna be in cat form the whole time, so I'm not sure. Okay. I guess we'll move on to Guardian, who is
Yes, please.
absolutely broken right now in the pre-patch. Bonkers. Anyway,
Absolutely.
it's ridiculous. So the 2-set bonus, Gore, has a 5% increased chance to trigger. Gore also increases Mangle's damage by 10%. The 4-set bonus, Mangle and Thrash deal 5% increased damage. Mangle heals you for 100% of the damage it deals. So far, a trend between the tanks is the first set bonus increases your damage of certain abilities or just increases your damage. And then the 4-set bonus is that damage then makes you take less damage or heal or something like that.
So let's talk about the 4-piece right real quick, because I noticed you said Mangle heals you for 100% of the damage it deals, okay? So Gore has a 5% increased chance to trigger, and it also increases Mangle's damage by 10%.
Right. So the
I
Gore
can see
proc.
they really nerfed this set altogether because Thrash's damage is not included in that on the 2-set piece bonus, and the 4-set piece bonus, Thrash's damage is not included in the healing portion of that at all.
Yeah, oh, I see that. Why would they even include Thrash there?
It's only Mangle, and it only increases the Thrash by 5%.
That's interesting. Why they would do that? Why would they?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think it would be it would be way too strong. I mean, you already have these invincible guardian druids pulling an entire dungeon, not taking any damage, and doing ridiculous amounts of damage. Now imagine you pulling a huge thing, doing thrash with increased damage, and then healing you for 100% of that damage.
Right.
You could go from 1% to topped off immediately.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But it makes me wonder why even put the thrash thing in there.
Right. Maybe they had it in there to begin with, and then they realized it was too strong.
Well, yeah, probably.
That probably what I'm thinking as well. Okay, so moving on to our first healer, I believe, and that's the Restoration Druid. The 2-set bonus: Rejuvenation, Life Bloom, Wild Growth, Effervescence.
It's like the band Evanescence.
Efflorescence and Tranquility.
Just
Chance,
call it the thing.
the green thing on the ground and Tranquility. Chance to critically heal is increased by 10%. Okay. 4-set bonus: the green thing on the ground.
The green thing.
The green thing on the ground. Critical heals increase the healing of your next wild growth by 10%, stacking up to 5 times. Interesting. And Life Bloom critical heals reduce the cooldown of Nature's Swiftness by 2 seconds.
I like that.
I like that a lot. So, so that kind of incentivizes you to kind of. Okay, yeah. That's just a big increase to your overall critical healing.
Output. Yeah.
Yeah, and then a big output to your AOE healing with
Right.
Wild Growth.
Green thing on floor, big heals.
Big heals. Wow, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I know Invoker is next, but I'm gonna put a vote that we skip it because we don't know anything about Invoker. So we're
Yeah, we've been waiting for we Invoker's a class that hasn't really interest any of us.
not at all.
I know Josanna played Devastation and I played Preservation a little bit on the beta. What was your vibe from? We'll just talk briefly about it. What was your vibe from it, Josanna?
I mean, it looks really cool. It has really cool looking abilities. I like the aesthetics of the Dracthyr and stuff. And it's not like a bad class. It is a fun, I could see it being a fun class to play for other people. It just wasn't really for me.
Right. And for the preservation, I gave that a try because I was a healer main before switching over to DPS for Dragonflight. Um, basically, it's pretty cool. My big downfall with preservation and why I didn't want to go with it moving forward is the range limit on it. I felt like that
Yeah.
was too big of a restriction. I mean, it's cool how it plays. It's like, oh, mobility healer, let me jump around and all that, but I don't know. It just wasn't for me right now. So
I made Invoker, but it was basically just a, look at the customization.
right, which the customization for those are really nice. We'll have
It was
to.
really nice.
Well, all three of us will have to sit down and play and research Invoker, and then have an episode talking about it. It's definitely the big thing of Dragonflight, and we really want to get the correct information for you guys, and we don't want to talk about something we don't have much experience with. So, okay, so I guess that means we'll move on to Hunter, which I know Josanna was a Beastmaster Hunter before she made the switch to Demonology.
Yeah. Well, I kind of juggled a few before I switched to Demonology. It was kind of like Assassination Rogue, Beastmaster Hunter,
Don't you have like two
Fire.
Lokes?
I have a lot of rare. I have like all the rare pets, most of them, yes. Some of them too, because I like to match.
If you need a rare pet, I know Josanna is just knows where they all are and when they spawn.
I made a lot of friends and spent a lot of time helping people tame rare pets, camping them, and also doing the challenge tames in Firelands.
Yeah,
Like, I know a lot about raid mechanics, when things are going to happen, how to deal with them. Just Santa knows when things are going to spawn, how they're going to spawn, what's the best way, where to stand when they spawn.
yeah,
It's ridiculous.
yeah,
And that goes for mounts too.
yeah. We'll have a
Yeah, I like to collect.
but anyway, so we'll talk about the Beastmaster, see what you guys think about it. The 2-step bonus, kill command damage increased by 10%, has a 10% chance to reset the cooldown on Barb Shot. And then the 4-step bonus, Barb Shot has a 50% chance to make your next Cobra Shot or multi shot consume no focus.
So that's a big damage increase. I
It
mean,
is.
Bob Shot's like their main toolkit to increase not only their damage, but their pet's damage as well.
That's true.
Yeah, you always want the more pet damage, the better, because that's like your bread and butter with Beastmaster.
And more Barb Shots, more damage.
Right.
I feel like a lot with these tier sets is even if they don't really change the core rotation, if the rotation itself is fun and the way it plays is fun, I'm okay with tier sets just increasing damage because you're already enjoying how it plays as it is.
That's true. Yeah, some people might be influenced by tier sets if they change it drastically, and that they might not want that at the beginning.
Right.
That's pretty good. I like that one. Okay, so Marksman. The 2-step bonus is Arcane Shot and Multi Shot critical hits cause your next aim shot to cast 50% faster and cause the target to bleed for 20% of the damage dealt over 6 seconds. And the 4-set bonus, range auto attacks have a 10% chance to give your next arcane shot or multi-shot a 100% chance to critically hit.
So marksman is.
Boring, sorry.
I was trying to think of a nice way to say it.
Yeah, marksman's one that would need a tier set that changes its rotation to make it more fun because it is kind of bland. But a faster aim shot is amazing because that's one of the abilities that you have to stand and shoot.
My problem is they put so much effort into just making aim shot the big button. It's just like, I think even a talent, if they still have it, I know I tried marksman, is when you aim shot your cobra shot is also applied at the same time. It's just like almost like it putting all the abilities on one ability.
Right.
I mean, it's not for me, but it just seems to be the trend from what I can tell.
It's marksman. Like I love the class fantasy. I love bows, and they just did marksman dirty. They really did.
They did. I want to play a bow character so bad. I desperately want to play a bow character.
Well, you can't.
Marksman's my only hope because I don't like Beastmaster. Anyway, I'm salty about it, but yeah, I mean overall it's a pretty good tier set. Kind of goes with their crit theme. I feel like Marksman has always been a crit based class, so I think it's pretty good. Okay, so survival, one of my favorite classes, one of my favorite melees to play.
And one of the most stupidest in Mythic Plus.
Right now, yes. Which I don't know how they're going to do in Dragonflight. We'll see. So the 2-set bonus, Raptor Strike, Mongoose Strike, Carve, and Butchery damage increased by 10%. And a 4-set bonus, Raptor Strike, Mongoose Spike, Carve, Butchery has a 10% chance to make your next Raptor Strike, Mongoose Strike, Carve, or Butchery cost no focus.
That's a lot.
That is huge. That's like 10% damage on all your main focus spending abilities.
And then your main focus spinning abilities have the next to cost no focus, which is just.
That's crazy. That's a crazy strong. Oh no, another season where survival's top dog. Is that what I'm reading here?
By just pressing 3 buttons and they're like 600,000 damage ahead. Yeah, it'll be great.
I know people are finally switching over to it after they made the change to Legion, but I mean, why buff them so much like this? This is crazy.
Because people weren't playing them. That's the only reason why people are playing them now is because they were meta.
Yeah, and as soon as they're not meta, they're not going to play it anymore. I don't know, but we'll see how strong that is. Okay, looks like we have Mage, which I know Josanna knows a little bit about Mage. We'll start with Arcane. The 2-set bonus for each Arcane Charge, Arcane Blast, Critical Strike chance. Wait. For each Arcane Charge, Arcane Blast, Critical Strike chance is increased by 5%. And Arcane Explosion, Critical Strike chance is increased by 3%. And the 4-set bonus, when Arcane Blast or Arcane Explosion critically strikes at least one target, the critical strike chance of your next Arcane Barrage is increased by 10%, up to 4 stacks.
So that just basically empowers the gameplay that already surrounds Arcane and has surrounded Arcane for so long, is that you just dump Arcane Blast at full Arcane charges into one target, and then you reset through various of abilities.
Yeah, build up and dump pretty much.
Yeah.
Arcane's my favorite spec, even though honestly I could see it being the most boring to people, but I like it aesthetic and I like how it plays. Fire used to be my favorite in Legion, but it's moved on to Arcane since then. That's what my mage is now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing a trend. A lot of critical strikes are among a lot of these tier sets.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so fire, which just a quick glimpse. Oh no, there's a critical strike chance. All right. So pyroblast, flame strikes. Oh wait, sorry. 2-set bonus: pyroblast and flame strikes cast with hot streak deal 10% increased damage. That's pretty big. And the 4-set bonus: fire blast, phoenix flames, and fireball deal 10% increased damage, and their chance to critically strike is increased by 10%.
Which is really nice because it just feeds back into your 2-set bonus.
Right.
It also helps with procs. You want crits for the procs.
And then your procs do just 10, it's just a flat 10% damage increase to your procs.
Right.
That's
Like you basically just got a 10% increase to all your main abilities and more
that's
procs.
true. That's true. That's
Which when you
wow.
proc a lot as fire, it's really fun.
Wow, yeah. That's pretty big. Well, they might be one of the more meta classes.
Yeah,
Okay,
fire's pretty big right now.
yeah. Which at least in the beginning, I feel like in expansions they kind of fall a little bit. They're not in the beginning. They're not as strong, but
It usually takes stats
yeah,
and later on in the expansion to make them pretty good out and up there.
yeah. But with this tier set, they might be up there.
Yeah,
In the
and
beginning.
Legion, they were very, very gear dependent. Like you were pretty much not doing too well until you got your legendaries and you got your, stats and all that stuff.
Right. Frost, mage, which I played quite a bit of Frost. I was enjoying it for a little bit. The 2-set bonus: Ice Lance and Frozen Orb damage increased by 10%. Your 4-set bonus: Consuming Fingers of Frost increases spell damage by 8% for 6 seconds. Which I'll have to note, there is a marked out thing that on Wowhead, which says Blizzard damage by 25% and Frostbolt damage by 50%. Which one do you like
I
better?
prefer the marked out one.
Yeah, the marked out one seems a lot better. But
a lot better.
yeah,
Yeah,
but it
especially in Mythics, like that blizzard damage would be amazing.
but that was only affecting 2 abilities, one single target, one AoE. This affects all your abilities.
Right.
I don't know. That's hard to determine which
I'd
one.
also like to note that it says spell damage by 8%, not just damage by 8%.
Interesting.
And that could be a typo on their end, but when has anything ever affected spell damage in the past 5 expansions?
True. All right, moving on to the monk, which is, I believe, is this is monk's main class, isn't it?
Yes,
Brewmaster.
Brewmaster.
Yeah. So the 2-set bonus: hitting an enemy with Tiger Palm or Spinning Crane Kick grants Brewmaster's Rhythm, increasing damage dealt and reducing damage taken by 1% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. The 4-set bonus: for each stack of Brewmaster's Rhythm, Purifying Brew clears 3% more of your damage delayed with Stagger. That's pretty cool. I like that.
So basically, you have a 4% reduced damage taken, should be up at all times.
Right.
And then you have a 12% more of your damage being delayed with stagger.
Or being cleared, right? Yeah.
Or being, yeah.
That's really cool. I like that a lot. That might be my favorite tank tier set so far.
Wait till you get to Prot Warrior.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Which I know Prot Warrior was struggling. We'll get there. We'll get there. Mistweaver.
Actually,
Go ahead.
real quick, Prot Warrior has received so many nerfs on the beta, and they are still doing so good. Like
Damage?
survivability, damage, it was insane.
Hmm. Man. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll talk about it when we get there. Okay, so Mistweaver, which is one of my favorite healer specs to play. So I'm pretty excited to see what this tier set's about. The 2-set bonus: healing from your enveloping mist, essence font, and vivify is increased by 15%, on targets with your Renewing Mist. The 4-set bonus, Essence Font and Vivify healing are increased by 10%, and your Renewing Mist on targets healed by Essence Font are extended by 1 second for each heal. Wait, hold on, I might have to read that again. Set bonus, Essence Font and Vivify healing are increased by 10%, and your Renewing Mist on targets healed by Essence Font are extended by 1 second for each heal. Okay, I see what that's just a huge throughput.
Right.
That's a huge throughput because not only are you
Now,
buffing it twice.
does Essence Font has initial heal, but it also leaves a haunt on them, correct?
It does.
So does the haunt also extend?
That's what I'm thinking. I think the Essence Font dot or hot is what would increase the Renewing Mist time.
Right.
Now, is that your Renewing Mist on targets healed by Essence Font are extended by 1 second for each heal? Okay, that's going to be pretty big with the Renewing Mist, with the Fist Weaving build.
Right.
Where you're trying to extend your Renewing Mist. That, I like that. And then Vivify, of course, is going to hit all your Renewing Mist targets.
Right.
No matter what. And that's basically a 25%
Increased, yeah.
increase to your main healing abilities. Wow, that's a strong one. Okay, Windwalker, I know one of your favorites, but I think he's changed again.
Don't talk to me.
I think he's changed again off of Windwalker, but I know he knows a lot about it. The 2-set bonus, Fist of Fury increases the damage dealt by your next 2 Rising Sun kicks or Spinning Crane kicks by 30%. And the 4-set bonus, Fist of Fury now enhances your next 3 Rising Sun kicks or Spinning Crane kicks, and enhanced kicks increase your versatility during your next Fist of Fury by 5%, stacking up to 3 times.
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah. I mean, all in all, it doesn't change much with your rotation. You still have to weave in like the 2-set piece. The Fist of Fury increases the damage dealt by your next 2 Rising Sun kicks, or spinning crane kicks. Rising Sun kick has a cooldown, which is reduced by Blackout kick. Spinning crane kick does not, but you can't just go in there and dump both of those procs in spinning crane kick in an AoE situation. You still have to weave in other abilities before you dump that next one because of how the mastery works.
Mm-hmm.
And same with the 4-set piece. So it's basically just a flat increase 2 damage in your normal rotation.
Right. That's pretty big. I like that. I like that one so far. I do know we're around 53 minutes. Do we want to keep going, or do we want to save it for next episode? What do
We
you
can
guys think?
definitely continue this on the next one.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to. I know we haven't got to Josanna's main demonology yet, but or your new main. Which should we wait to
Right.
announce it till then, or
We can wait.
we can wait? Just in case you change again.
We can definitely wait.
Sorry.
Well, we'll see if you change.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see. We'll see. We will see. Okay.
We're all gonna play
so
Warlocks.
yeah. If I change, we're all playing Warlocks. Josanna has a great plan. All right. Anyway, so that should do it for us today. Of course, you can find our podcast anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Some examples: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We also upload videos, our videos to YouTube, which is just our podcast. But we may add a few video elements. Like at last episode, we added the Paladin consecration video that we were talking about.
Don't bring that up, please.
Yeah, nobody bring that up anymore. But yeah, that's on our YouTube video. So if you want to watch a little bit more visual, that'll be there. We should be getting our Twitch ready here in the next week or two. We may stream some of our POVs in the rating while we're trying to figure out our class and pre-patch. Yeah, overall that's it for us. If you want to join us on Discord, there should be a link in the description. Take you right to our Discord. That's where me, Ty, and Josanna play most of our video games together. We are also in the Reprisal Discord sometimes, but if you wanna come in, talk to us, say hi, that's where you can find us. But after that, I think that's about it. So if you like the podcast, make sure to give us a follow and a rating. That really helps us out. And we'll see you next time. Unless you guys have anything to say, if you want to say goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye. All right, we'll see you guys next
Bye,
time.
Felicia.